Well, obviously a good win. I think the thing that our guys have done with so many dramatic, kind of devastating close losses is they've stayed confident, they've stayed positive, and the locker room has never wavered. I think they see the big picture. They know we're young, and they know we just got to keep grinding. So good win. I thought Jamal and Jalen, they just haven't had a lot of moments where they've both been great. They're both really good players. Tonight, they were both really good, and obviously Hal's passing the ball was terrific, and guys made great shots. Defensively, we're still struggling a little bit. We got lucky on some shots, but overall our offense saved us again.
Questions for Coach?
Coach, you've talked about taking the right shots, maybe slowing the pace down a little bit. How do you think that played in? Do you think it looked good tonight?
Yeah, I thought we were obviously really efficient. 58% in the second half, 54% for the game, 21 assists, 10 turnovers. We had over 100 passes at halftime, which was great. We're sharing the ball. We have, when we're good and we're clicking, we are a very good offensive team. We're still not a great defensive team by any means, but just keep working on it. But, yeah, I thought offensively we were really good.
Coming into this game, the opponent is what it is, and I'm curious how much they just needed to know they had a really good shot at a win, or did that not ever really enter the team's mind?
Well, who are we to have an ego, quite frankly? I mean, it's not like we're setting the world on fire either here. So, it's Tim Miles and San Jose State's rebuilding, and we're rebuilding. So they shouldn't have an ego. We were 0-7, and they were 0-7. So that's not the problem for us. So it's their mindset was good, and I understand your question, and it is natural, obviously, to feel like you have a better chance versus them versus maybe others. And we know San Jose State, they played UNLV down to the wire. UNLV's blowing out Colorado State at Colorado State. So league wins are hard to find, especially with just where we're at right now. So I thought their approach was really good.
So in terms of the whole process, and you've been saying after each tough loss, that it is about the process in the long term. Coming into a game like tonight and saying they had the right mindset, that's got to be a step of growth too, though, that they didn't overlook a team like San Jose.
For sure. And, I think now we've arrived because we got that win. No, I think that's the good part about these guys. Where we've had brilliant offensive moments at times this year, obviously. We've not been great defensively. We haven't been great rebounding the ball, but they've been ready to play almost every game. And that it's not as easy as you think. Obviously, that UNLV game, I blame Eric Brown because I wasn't there. It's his fault and the staff's fault. But even we've played a tough schedule. You look at Towson and UAB are really good teams, and we've been ready to go. So that hasn't been a problem yet, and that's not always the case.
So you just spoke about staying the course and staying focused, but I'm sure it was tough at times mentally and, with the losing streak. But, I mean, can you speak to their mentality and staying strong and getting this victory and how it is right now?
Well, again, for me, it's and I think I talked about this the other day, when you take over a new job, you have to have perspective and you have to understand what the situation is. And as badly as I want to get this arena filled again and be atop the Mountain West, it's going to take time. And we're showing growth. I'm looking at our Ken Palm numbers and our net rankings from last year to this year. It's not where it needs to be, but there's drastic improvement. There really is. So it's going to take time. And you look around, there's a million different coaches who take over tough programs, and you just got to build it. And you got to build it the right way. And it's my job and the coaching staff's job to stay as positive as possible with these guys to where they're not totally focused on the standings and wins. It's about growth. And as boring as it sounds, it is about the process. And we'll keep getting a more rock-solid roster to where if we do have injuries like this, and it's tough to sustain what we've sustained, very hard for a lot of programs, we'll be able to weather that a little bit more.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off that, talking about progression, just over the past few weeks, have you seen a lot especially after this victory? Is this where you've seen a lot of progression?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we won, but I think if you take a step back and look at Colorado State, at Wyoming, second half of Fresno State, and right here, we're clearly playing better. We are clearly playing better. And the fans that came tonight, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate it. I've said over and over again, I know it's been a long few years. I know how passionate this place is. I appreciate it greatly. We'll get this thing back going again. It's this building is too special. The fan base is too special. But we can't skip steps in the process. So we are playing better. I think we're playing with spirit. I think our fans appreciate the way that we're playing. We're not going to be perfect by any means, but I do think they see that.
You touched on Colorado and UNLV. What do you think of the league so far with all the teams kind of beating each other any random night?
I think it's really good, and I think it's hard for teams like us and San Jose State, who are two of the youngest teams in the league, two teams going through a rebuild. You're playing some programs that are terrific, and there's no easy nights. So, it's, to me, there's 4 or 5 teams that will play in the postseason. Will they play in the NCAA tournament? I don't know. We'll see in February. But they're going to either be NCAA or maybe NIT. That's almost half your league. And I think a lot of it is stability. I've said it over and over again. It is very, very hard to turn over coaches every 4 years. It is. And it's just you have to start over. And especially in the climate of the transfer portal, you're starting over even more. We need continuity here. We've got terrific administration. Dave Williams and Eddie Nunez, they understand it. They want to win, but they also understand it's a process. And we're going to do it, but we're going to do it the right way. And although we may take some lumps with some programs that may be ahead of us, we're going to stay the course.
Is there anything that maybe surprised you from the preseason to now?
I didn't know really what to expect. I mean, I knew it was really good coaching. I think it's a great league. And I think the reason why is there's really good coaching, but even more so than that, great TV coverage, really cool places to go, and a lot of very good players. So, I'm excited to recruit to it. I mean, when we finally got a class that we could recruit to, and there's a lot to sell in this conference. It's a terrific basketball conference.
You haven't had MASH and House, you said, click together a whole lot this year, like they did tonight anyway. But you got balance, too. You got it from everybody. Is that everything you needed, all the boxes checked kind of game? You get Barima Sec in there. You have a whole lot of guys that all contributed, it seemed like, in some way. Is that sort of everything you were hoping to check off the box?
Yeah, I mean, I still don't love our defense, but I think that's a work in progress. I mean, I thought it was better in the first half. Obviously started 9-0. But offensively, yes, that's about as good of a game offensively as we could play, and still doing it without a true low-post threat. Now, San Jose State doesn't have one either. So, we'll continue to develop those guys. But, yeah, it felt good. There's a lot still to learn from, and, we can't be frauds and say, well, when we lose, don't worry about the result. We're going to keep learning. Well, we can't. We won. Great. Let's still continue to learn and grow.
Saquon did play, but only 3 minutes. Did that aggravate? Or?
No, I just thought they were going zone. And I thought, you know what? I felt like we had decent control of the game. And I was just hoping, let's get him healthy. He's looked better in practice. But, we need him out there. I mean, we could have used him at Wyoming, to guard Maldonado. But them playing zone had a lot to do with it, and I thought we could just hold off on him.
Barima seemed really aggressive tonight to me, going after offensive rebounds and really running the floor well. What were your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, he's a live body. He does attack the glass. He's just we got to get his shot right. He had that moment in the middle of the zone where he was wide open. Then we switched and put Javante, and I thought it was effective. But Barima and Sebastian were our 2 freshmen we brought in. We thought they would redshirt. We couldn't redshirt them, so we've got to get them experience. They're awesome kids. They're going to get better and better.
I'm just curious. I mean, I'm sure that building towards that first conference win takes a certain kind of approach. Does sustaining momentum after the first win kind of breaks through take a different approach, or is it just the same process?
It's the same process. It really is. I mean, it's as I've said a million times, we're rebuilding, and going to play at San Diego State is a huge challenge. We got to win tonight. We feel great about it, and we're going to get back to work tomorrow. So I'm just not a big too high, too low guy. I'm going to kind of give the same approach every single day.
To follow up on that real quick, San Diego State is next. Quick turnaround, obviously very different style of game. They probably aren't going to play zone once against you guys. What do you need to do between now and Monday to be ready for what was a long time, actually not was, they still are a long time perennial kind of contender?
Yeah, I haven't watched a bunch of them. What I've seen from them is they switch every ball screen because they've got position guys who are big and strong, so they're hard to score on. You can't turn the ball over. So I don't know. I mean, I try really, really hard to narrow my focus and lock in on San Jose. And obviously, they're a terrific team. They've got a great program, and they've had what I've talked about, that stability where Coach Fisher turns it around. Coach Dutcher's there. It's stability. And that's what we're striving towards. So I've said before, I'm not trying to make it about wins and losses. I'm just trying to continue to strengthen the program.